So, Steve, it doesn't sound like that crazy aberration of a playoff game that was as crazy and zany as could be. No more better or thrilling than the second game, but the second game was more uniform. That Michigan TCU game just provided all sorts of twists and turns
Yeah.
and craziness.
The second game was an ESPN classic. The first game was Shakespearean. Yes.
So it doesn't sound like that has changed based on the level of play versus the TCU team that's undermanned based on recruiting rankings and also some of the questionable coaching decisions. It doesn't sound like it's changed your tenor on Michigan football or Harbaugh.
Well, you got to remember, I grew up in an era where I've seen this season most of my life. Okay. I mean, I've seen most of my life has been crush the Big Ten, beat the hell out of Ohio State, go play on New Year's Day in the Rose Bowl and face plant. I mean, this has been most of my fandom. I've seen this movie before, and those are some of the best seasons we ever had. All right. So I think the thing that's the most bothersome about this game, it's hard to be a 7.5 point favorite in the playoff if you're Alabama or Georgia, man. Okay. It's hard to be a 7.5 point favorite in a playoff, no matter who you are. How often are you going to be a 7.5? Now, when we get to 12 teams, probably a lot more often, I would imagine. But until we get to 12, how often was Michigan going to be a 7.5 point favorite in a college football playoff game? Not very often. That was an opportunity lost. TCU deserved to win. They made the fewest mistakes. They played harder. But Michigan made, between the coaching mistakes, the pick sixes, like 5 or 6 existential level mistakes in that game, and still had the ball at the end of the game where they could have won it, and then made one more existential mistake with the best center that Michigan's ever had. And that's saying something, okay? Decides for the first time all year to snap the ball off of his foot. And that's the end. That was a fitting, ignominious end to a devastating evening for sure.